Sorry about that interruption. We're going to start back off where we left off. So, ray BF bisects angle ABC. It cuts it in half. And this is an angle bisector. And that is construction number 3. Okay, from this point, you can flip your paper over or scroll your paper down, which is what I'm going to do, make a perpendicular bisector. So here's how I'm going to do it. First of all, I'm going to make a segment. Call it segment AB. Okay. What I want to do now is I'm going to make a perpendicular bisector. Here's how I do it. Put the center of my compass on A. One of these, let's see, right here. Pick one of these holes that's over halfway. What do I mean by that? Well, estimate where halfway is, and you want a hole that's going to be past halfway, so something over in this area. Okay? So I'm going to put my finger on A, put my pen in a hole that's over halfway. And I'm just going to make a big arc that goes above and below the line quite a way. Remember the hole you used. Now you want to do the same thing at B. Put the center of your compass right at B. Use the same hole used before. And notice it's going to cross, these arcs are going to intersect at the top and the bottom. And some people might say this is a fish. Okay? So if you look at this fish, make a point C, a point D, and we're going to connect those 2 points. Okay? And they intersect each other in the middle, and it should be a nice right angle. That means it's 90 degrees. So this is what we call a perpendicular bisector. This is construction number 4. And we know a segment AB is perpendicular to segment CD. That's why we write segment. Segment has no arrows on it, so it's AB is perpendicular to CD. All right, great. Okay, 2 more constructions, and these take the most paper, so I would use a full side for this. Right? So now we're going to take a segment. Let's make that segment a lot longer than that. Sorry about that. Make a nice long segment here. And we're going to put a point that's not on the segment. So I'm going to put a point right up here. First of all, I'm going to try to construct a perpendicular line going through this point that's going to be perpendicular to this segment right here. So how do I do that? Well, let's name this point A. Put the center of your compass on point A and pick a point on here that's below the line, a little bit below the line. So when you do that, pick a point that's below the line, whatever it is. Swing that arc so it crosses 2 points on that segment that you made. Makes a little bit of a smiley face. Okay? All right, we're going to label those B and C on our smiley face. Now, we're going to, from this point, do the same thing we did when we constructed the perpendicular in the last construction. We're going to put the center of the compass on B. You're going to pick a point that's over halfway, so something over closer to C. Put your pen or pencil in that hole. And draw a big arc. Above and below, kind of like that. Remember where you put your pen. That's important. Now you go over to C. Put your finger on C here. Put the center of the compass on C. And make the same size arc as you did before. So now again we have another fish. So we're going to connect the ends here. We'll call this D and E. We're going to connect D and E. And that's great. So we know now that segment DE is perpendicular to BC. So what we just did was we constructed a perpendicular line through a point not on the line. This is construction number 5. All right, last but not least, it's our last and final construction. This one takes the most work, so I know you can do it. Do the best you can, all right? So now we're going to start off again with another segment. And a point not on that segment. So this is point A. Now this construction is going to start off the same way the last one started off. So remember how you start out the last one. Put the center of your compass up here. Do your smiley face. Then from the ends of your smiley face, you're going to do a fish. Make sure whatever hole you use for this one, you use the same one when you're going from C. And you're going to connect those. We'll call those D and E again. All right, now we have the last construction, and we're going to continue on. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to take this segment that's in the middle, I want to extend it out a little bit. Okay? All right, now, don't adjust your monitors. Turn this, rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. All right, great. Okay, now, I'm going to start at point D. Actually, no, I'm going to start at point A. Sorry. Start at point A, my original point, and I'm going to make a smiley face. And that smiley face has to touch this segment right here. Both ends have to touch this segment. So I'm going to start at A, and just pick a hole. Doesn't matter what it is. And label those ends F and G. All right, from here, I'm going to make another fish. All right, so I'm going to put the center of my compass now on F and pick one of the holes that's closer to G. Whatever it is, remember which one you used. I'm going to swing an arc. Then I'm going to go back over to G. And I'm going to swing another arc. Same spot. Wow, that's a lot of arcs there. And I'm going to name this H and I. I want you to connect H and I. All right, great. Now if you did this correctly, I'm going to rotate this back 90 degrees counterclockwise. Now if you did this correctly, BC segment should be parallel to segment HI. So we just constructed a parallel line through a point not on the line. And that is construction number 6. Okay, so now what you need to do is at the end of the class hour today, please have these all labeled, have your name on them, and please turn them all into Mr. Fischel, and that will be your formative assessment for learning target number 3, these constructions. Thanks, and go Big Dreads.